Before I can take you out looking at homes, I have to discuss a few documents with you. By signing these forms, you acknowledge that you understand what each one means. These forms are required for all agents by New York State law before I can bring you out to show you homes. The first one is the New York State Agency Disclosure. This form explains the different roles real estate agents can have in a real estate transaction. For our purposes, to keep it a little simple, there are 3 different roles an agent can have in a real estate transaction. The first one is a buyer's agent. In this role, the real estate agent is working for the best interest of the buyer. As a buyer's agent, I have fiduciary duties of care, loyalty, confidentiality, full disclosure, and obedience to you as a buyer. The second one is a seller's agent. The real estate agent is working on behalf of the seller. A seller's agent has the same fiduciary duties, but to the seller. This one is important for you to understand in the context of going to look at homes without an agent, especially in an open house setting. Whether you have an agent or not with you at any showing, it's important to remember anything you can say to a seller's agent could potentially be used in negotiations against you. The real estate agent is representing the seller and working for the seller. So if you go to an open house and say, "Oh my gosh, I love it, let's put an offer in," the seller agent knows you really like the house and can use that emotional leverage against you. The last role an agent can play in a real estate transaction is a dual agent, meaning they represent both sides. This is tricky for agents to navigate and almost impossible for them to have undivided loyalty to both parties. However, in some situations, this works just fine. The second form is the New York State Anti-Discrimination, or commonly called the Fair Housing Form. This form explains what a fair housing violation is, and if you feel myself or any agent has violated fair housing laws, it explains where and how you can file a complaint. The last document is a buyer-broker agreement. This is a contract. It creates an exclusive relationship between us, meaning you agree to work exclusively with me as your real estate agent. This contract lists my obligations to you as an agent and your obligations to me as a client. Another part of the buyer-broker agreement is how I'm going to get paid, how much and how long the contract is. All of these will be negotiated and agreed to between us before you sign the contract. I understand you may have some concerns about signing a contract with somebody you've just met. This contract can be for one house, one day, a week, whatever you're comfortable with. At the end of the contract, if we still want to continue to work together, we would sign another contract. A copy of these documents can be found at the link below, or I'm happy to email them to you for you to review and sign. I hope I've explained these forms so that you understand them. If you have any questions and want to discuss in more detail, you can call or text me at 516-217-3855, or you can email me at ctabacco@ctabacco.com. If you like this content and would like to see more, click like, subscribe, and follow.